This is the story of one woman's struggle in the world of classical music. Attaining a position in a modern American symphony orchestra is an extremely competitive endeavor. Today, a single opening may attract hundreds of qualified candidates. During the first half of the 20th century, professional orchestras in the United States were overwhelmingly white and male. The men was the term orchestra administrators used well into the 20th century to describe their players. The term came from a crystallized cultural tradition that made men musicians and women teachers and amateurs. Around the middle of the 20th century, questions of bias in hiring practices began to arise. After blind auditions came into vogue, starting with the Boston Symphony in 1952, the demographics began to change. However, the difficulties for musicians with female bodies were far from over. The story of violinist Ellen de Pasquale is most informative. Ellen's father, Robert de Pasquale, and his three brothers were all members of the Philadelphia Orchestra and also formed their own string quartet. A product of this musical dynasty, Ellen was accepted into the prestigious Curtis Institute of Music in Philadelphia after her junior year of high school in 1990. At 25, Ellen won the position of Associate Concertmaster with the Cleveland Orchestra, one of the world's finest. She was ecstatic to have achieved such a terrific position in culmination of her hard work. The joy, however, would not last. In August of 2002, the orchestra appointed a new music director who immediately began making moves. Ellen said he was easily manipulated and influenced by mean people. The mean people to whom she referred was the Cleveland Concertmaster. Underneath its glossy exterior, the Cleveland Orchestra had a dark side, and its name was William Prusel. It is a matter of record that he sexually harassed and assaulted both students and colleagues, precipitating the sarcastic use of the phrase, Prusel and his girls. Next, the orchestra announced an audition for the post of First Associate Concertmaster. They were essentially creating a new position so that they could insert a body between her and the concertmaster. In February of 2007 came the shocking news that Ellen was resigning her position. The Cleveland Plain Dealer ran a brief article reporting her resignation. Ellen said it was a matter of principle. Ellen struck me as gracious and brave. She could have easily tried to exact revenge through a lucrative lawsuit. But she did not. Rather than drag a legendary institution through the mud because of the deeds of one, she stood quietly on principle. The status of women in the world of instrumental music has improved greatly since 1952, but the journey is not complete. Perhaps it is telling that the Army now offers a disability payment to female retirees for trauma due to sexual harassment. It is now in the VA mix with PTSD, back problems, and hearing loss. Justice, however, would eventually be served. In 2018, graphic allegations of Prusel committing acts of sexual misconduct were published in the Washington Post. He was forced to resign from the faculty of the Cleveland Institute of Music and was dismissed from his post at Furman University. On October 24, 2018, following an internal investigation, Prusel was finally fired by the Cleveland Orchestra. There is much to admire about Ellen de Pasquale as both a musician and a human being. She is the great legacy of a noteworthy Philadelphia musical family and an enduring player in the struggle of women to achieve equality with the men.